You know, I have said it is good we come clear with our intentions and we try not to cover up and create a situation as if we on this side are not thinking. What we are doing here, when you speak, we listen, we think, we process at the same time. We are not begging for a power sharing situation. And if we said no to it before now, we still stand to say no to it. If the situation of regional balance, the president should do everything possible to have a regional balance in cabinet, correct? But if you tie that to proportional, the configuration of parliament, tell us clearly you want to propose IPR at the executive arm of government. If we accept as a people of Sierra Leone, we accept. If we don't, we will not accept. But trying to.
So what is debatable?
What is debatable is the position he has made that first of all I want him to be clear with what he said, which is not clear. I am sure most people who are here do not understand what I am understanding.
I'm telling you, explain again. Hold on, Mr. Minister. Yes, Honorable Daniel. Yes, Honorable Daniel.
Mr. Chairman. Hello.
Yes, proceed.
Mr. Chairman. I think
Honorable members, hold on.
we had a meeting in the Speaker's office based on the directives on the first day of sitting. And of course, ourselves and the Attorney General, we agreed on this issue. But I have got a rethink. Yes, I move it. You are right, sir. We agreed on this issue. But my problem now is that, for me, I agree with him, but not on Section 59. Earlier, I agreed on Section 59, but now I've got a rethink. Because Section 59 is limited only to cabinet. That is one. So I'm suggesting a rephrase of the opening paragraph, but standing on Section 61 instead of 59. Because Section 61 covers both cabinets, ambassadors, commissioners, board members, director generals. It covers everything within the president's power. So it's like saying, in exercising his authority under Section 61, the president may, we agreed on that may, because even in the GUE Act, the clause there is may. In the GUE Act, we agreed. Although if I had known at that time, I would have disagreed. But unfortunately, it was too late for me. So it is may in the GUE Act. So that is why the exercise of presidential authority to appoint 30% of women, we still agree on May. But if the GUE Act is scoring more votes, even on that May, I think we can continue to score that vote. But we don't want to limit it. GUE Act limited it to only elective positions. We want to include now appointed positions. But Section 59 limited appointed positions of cabinet only, while 61 covers all. So I'm suggesting that we rephrase, but we stand on Section 61 instead of 59. That will cover everybody, and that will be good for women.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Geba.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, hold on briefly.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, two issues. First to Honorable Abdulkarim Kamara, just to make some clarification. My reading of this.
Hold on, Mr. Minister. I said Honorable Giba. Are you not debating anymore?
No, I'm debating.
Please hold on.
What can you say? Hold on. Thank you, Mr.
Hold on, Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I am sure this idea is a welcome idea, even for those that we represent in this House, hearing the Attorney General for the very reasoning of it. Every Sierra Leonean will warm up to this idea that what was mentioned by the president during the last state opening of parliament, that the proportional representation be extended to the executive arm of government, be something that we think of. And like my learned colleague has said, I will agree with him as well, but that it could still fit in section 59. That if you are introducing it in section 59, you can still spell out ambassadorial positions. Because section 59 is also dealing with the appointment of ministers or the power of the president in exercising his powers in appointing ministers and the like.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if he is suggesting the inclusion of ambassadorial, what about board members? What about director generals? What about the executive secretaries? Section 61 covers all that. In the opening paragraph.
It's all right.
That is one.
It's all right. I please give the minister 1 minute to just respond to this.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, honourable members. And just to say, to clarify, in reading out this proposal, there was no use of proportional, apart from the president's call for a genuine dialogue. And so the reading of it in relation to Parliament, I did not say proportionate. I said in appointing ministers and deputy ministers, the president may give consideration as far as possible to the political diversity of Parliament. I didn't say proportionate. Those were not my words. But just to say, Mr. Speaker, honourable members, we take note of the intervention made by the deputy leader of the opposition, and this is to note that we will agree in entirety that this provision that we seek to introduce in the Constitution be put under Section 61.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Not 59 or 61. I totally agree. No, don't debate that, please.
No, I am not debating that.
Don't debate that.
No, he has quoted me. No, that's the issue.
Continue. Continue.
No, it's not continuing, Mr. Speaker. We are making a law.
It's all right.
And he's saying,
It's all right.
let's not be all
Do
right.
you know why I'm stopping you? Because of relevance. We are not here for whether it's quoting you or not. We are dealing with the provision.
Thank you. And that is what I have a problem with.
No, your argument is not relevant to the proceedings.
No, it's not all relevant.
Because of whether it's quoting you or not.
I have, Mr. Speaker,
Don't refer to quoting you.
No,
Refer to the provision.
That's exactly what I'm
Yes.
referring to. Mr. Speaker, the minister is very clever with presenting this issue. And he has come very clear that the president can appoint in line with regional balance, which is correct. But if you tie that to the configuration of parliament, it signifies political parties in parliament and their strength. So we are saying for national balance, which is what we seek to address since the starting of this constitutional review, let us limit the appointment of president to reflect regional balance, which is just an address of all other issues. Because even when you talk about political steering in parliament, the political parties are the configuration of the country. So if you say, for example, each region should have equal representation on cabinet, it surpasses political representations at parliamentary level. That's just my position.
It cannot be equal representation from the region. Mr. Minister, what do you see? Before
Mr. Speaker, I don't see how this is. You use one not to the exclusion of the other. If you say, even without this provision, the president is free to set up a government or make appointments reflecting the regional balance in the country or the political diversity. We basically will just say it's an issue of way, not an issue of shall. It's something that the Constitution will encourage the President to consider. The political diversity of Parliament. If the Honourable Member feels so strongly about it, we could change Parliament to country. And then, the regional balance, gender equity, etc., etc.
Is there anything wrong with regional balance? Is there anything wrong with that? Are you okay with regional balance?
So it is there already under B, say regional and district balance of the Republic.
Okay.
But
regional and district.
Yes, but the A part of it is the political diversity of Parliament.
No,
That's
hold on. As long as regional and district balance.
And then of course,
in addition to that, even if you mention, the representation in Parliament, all of those are not issues of debate.
that's why
Because you have given, hold on, because you have given the discretion to the president, then you don't limit him. Don't limit him.
Mr. Speaker.
Let me state one point. Honorable members, let me state this point. Let me state this point for all to understand. The office of the president should be a very powerful office in the Republic. Should be a very powerful office. Let's not make this law, because we have this perception that somebody else is in power. Make this law, put in yourself. It might be you tomorrow. APC is certainly going to come to power. Another political party is going to come to power. SFP is going to come to power. It is for all of us. NGC will come to power. UNDP will come to power. It is for all of us. Of PDP. You might have PMP. Any political party has the potential to win power. As a nation, we should make the president very, very proud. Because it is the president that must take critical decisions. Not with the kind of perception to say, it's because we are not in power, we have to limit the authority of the president. No. We are not making this law for any political party. We are making this law for any president that will belong to any political party. We have flag bearers all over the place. They are flag bearers because they have this belief that they will win elections and become president. They too will not support a thing where you seek to reduce the power of His Excellency the President. I will not sit here as speaker to allow the position of the president to be watered down. It's a very serious position. Somebody has to be in charge of the nation. Somebody has to be in charge. Somebody has to have supreme executive authority. We cannot create a lame dog president. We cannot create a lame dog president where if he needs to do anything, he has to consult Mr. A, consult Mr. B, or he has to take permission from them. No. We cannot create that kind of president. Yes, leader of the opposition.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I agree with you. I agree with you on this. Mr. Speaker, I agree with you on this because we don't make laws that violate the president's authority. That is why we are saying, according to what he has just read, it means the president will be bound to appoint him according to the strength of parliament. The representation should reflect the parliamentary strength. And we are saying
the use of the word may is discretionary. It's may.
Yes,
not shall.
Yes, let me answer. Mr. Speaker, there are not, for example, the current configuration of this parliament shows that there are only two political parties in parliament.
It means if this law was active, it means the president was just going to consider 2 political parties and leave all the other political parties. So we are saying if there is regional awareness in that very law, let us stop it at that. Let us not bring it to Parliament, because we'll be limiting the powers of the president to appoint.
The mention of Parliament, if I understand what you was trying to say, the mention of Parliament is just one of the options.
So no,
just one of the options, not the entire option.
No, if you read what he says, it's a mandatory option among the other options.
Read that one again.
If there was all...
Hold on, read that one again.
Mr. Speaker, the proposal reads as in appointing ministers and deputy ministers, now of course we move to section 61. That changes. The president may consider as far as practicable.
Yes.
A, the political diversity of parliament, regional executive.
That's one option.
But, Mr. Chairman,
that's one option.
Mr. Chairman, honourable members, we will be fine with removing A and keeping, and then we will not do this to be in making appointments. Then of course we will agree that this moves to section 61 to cover all the appointments, basically the constitution of the government. But then to now read as, presently considered as practicable, and the regional and district balance of the republic, gender equity, we will want to keep that in there, and then inclusion of minority groups should now be appropriate.
Yes,
considerations. Thank you.
So are we okay with that now?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Tamakeli.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I question the utility of introducing such an uncertainty. Mr. Chairman, let me read for you what Section 59 provides. It says,
we are now dealing with 61.
Yeah, not
59.
Yeah, when it comes from that, because the same illogicality from...
We have moved away from 59.
Yes.
We are now dealing with 61.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yes.
But Mr. Speaker, the President, under the President Constitution, has a discretion. It says, may such other minister. Any President with a modicum of common sense would know that after the election, he would want to constitute a cabinet that represents every part of the country without anybody telling him. Exactly. Because his political strength will depend on that. If the people of Ghana vote for a president, he will know that you have to have a minister from Ghana. Is the people of Kabbalah. Now, do we need to put this in a constitution, plot up an important document like this?
This is a document of national unity. We are trying to create a document of national unity.
And then keep political participation.
So that is why that one is very relevant. So that's why it's relevant.
So political competition is really what this is intended to keep. Party competition.
Kelly, where are you taking that argument?
I'm taking it to the point I'm making. Our constitution is based on the ability of individuals to organize themselves into political parties and compete for political power.
So how do you kill political competition by that provision?
By poaching, because this is really what they are saying. Go to the other side and poach.
And you think you don't have members of different political parties in the regions? Don't you have APC people in other regions or SLP people in other regions? So please, Honorable Tambakeli, I think you are over-sophisticated for this. Yes, we proceed. Yes, are we done with that? I think this one is not contentious. Also, we are done. Also, yes, Honorable. One more. The rendition. Yes. Mr. Minister, can you do that now?
Speaker, honourable members, noting that this now moves under section 61. Section 61 reads, subject to the provisions of this constitution or of any act of Parliament, the President may constitute offices for Sierra Leone, make appointments to any such office, and terminate any such appointment. We will now move what originally read as in appointing ministers and deputy ministers will now read in making appointments under this section. The President may give consideration as far as practicable to A, the regional and district balance of the Republic, B, the gender equity in line with Section 35, whatever the provision section of justice and equity. Okay, gender equity. So say A, regional and district balance of the Republic, B, gender equity, C, inclusion of minority groups.
That's so powerful, eh? Very powerful. My AG, you have made my day. That's so powerful. Yes. This is my best provision. Very okay. Not so easy. Yes, so we go back to page 14 also.
Yes.
Page 14.
Page 14, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Yes, Honorable.
I raised an issue before you adjourned. I just want to know whether it was accepted or not. I only had Honorable Debao saying D and then you adjourned.
Which one?
The city. So it had to do with deleting subsection 8 of section 54. Page 14.
Oh, okay. What is that?
So it was saying delete subsection 8 of 54.
That is clause 11.
Clause 11.
Clause 11.
We delete the entirety of clause 11?
In clause 11, in the two paragraphs, we only deleted the word president because it was dealing with the vice president, so we deleted president because that's what was done.
So what do you suggest?
So in this one it says you repeal and you replace the subsection. And when you look at the Constitution, 54.8 is dealing with other conditions that will lead to the removal of the vice president that are mentioned in section 50 and 51. For instance, insanity of mind, physical health, and 51 which deals with misconduct. So if you delete subsection 58, you delete subsection 8 of 54, then you say whether the vice president is mad, is physically incapable, or he's conducted himself in an improper way, he still continues to remain.
No, that's not the impression.
No, well, let's read it.
No,
Okay, hold on, Mr. Chairman.
There is a proviso there that talks about the application of 50 and 51, just after.
No, okay. Okay, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
please be patient with me.
I'm patient.
Okay, so now, 11 says, subsection 8 of section 54. I want to refer you to section 58 of 54. Subsection 8 of 54. Let's look at the Constitution. It's amended. Yes, hold on.
Hold on.
Mr. Speaker, you're my classmate.
Yes.
Remember that too.
Yes.
I don't just jump for right?
Yes. Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
You're right.
So it should not be.
You were almost defeated. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for being very stubborn.
Well, it's been the same way from you.
So yes, AG.
So instead of repealing it, amend it by the addition.
Mr. Chairman,
Do a rendition.
yes, we will do a rendition of that. We will still propose that we keep the proposed the revised section 8, but then as an addition. So we'll keep, yes, so that will be section 8 in the current in the current section 54. We'll move to and become section 9. Yes. It will be a proposal for that. the new section 8 comes before the current section 8.
The new section 8 becomes 9.
Yeah. But anyways, the broader principle is we keep the current section 8, but then we include the proposed section 8 as an addition, and then we will be implemented. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, I think that's great. Page 14.
Page 14, Mr. Chairman. Page 14, talking about the amendment of 76(1)(a). But here, pay close attention to the ministers.
We have talked a bit on.
From the debate, there were discussions, and I raised that of if the aspirants can make their investment here, they should not be limited to executive and legislative participation.
Hold on, honorable members, can I appeal to you? My appeal is that we allow diasporans, or with certain conditions. We allow them. This is a passionate appeal from Mr. Speaker, that we allow them, but we put certain conditions under which they can contest.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
I want to join you on this. These are brothers and sisters. Some of them have even contributed to the development of this country. So I'm also sharing the same allowed to not only contest.
And I'm sure the leader of government business is 100% in support.
Mr. Leader, just 1 minute. I don't want us to limit their participation of being ministers of government. I want us to extend it to becoming members of parliament as well.
Yes, the leader of government.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for opening our eyes for a sensitive issue of set nature. And the debate, some of us did not mention 76 deliberately to see how members are taken. For some members, he talked about 76. So what you have done as a presiding officer, you have not made a plea to all of us to consider looking at the way things have changed, transformation, contributions to Sierra after the interregnum, so many things have changed. So for me, I am positively supporting it with some caveats. The caveat will come, and we accept what are we going to do the amendment.
So can we agree on the conditions?
Yeah, we are not coming. If we need us, the minister has some, he will prefer.
Yes.
But let me make my first clear submission. Anybody that has to do with the presidency, that's why it's a bar. The president, the vice president, and those who are going to see to the acting in the capacity of the president when the president is not around, or the vice president, the speaker, the chief justice, and even sometimes by extension the deputy speaker can be involved. So we are going to put a ring around those things.
qualified to hold the position of President, Vice President, Speaker of Parliament, Chief Justice, and the position of Deputy Speaker. This will be our proposal, Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, considering this is the nature of this constitution we are amending in this sixth parliament, I want to agree to your plea to this house. But I am first of all requesting that we add the bank money. He is the custodian of our funds.
So, number 8. Okay, yes, Honorable Country.
I'm not done.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank the AG for the conditions. We've agreed on the what, but I think we have to be very clear on the how. There are some additional safeguards I want to propose as well.
Yes.
And let's also bear in mind that whatever changes we are going to make now, amendments, they are going to affect possibly Section 41. They will affect Section 54, qualifications, Section 56 to 60, 75 to 77, and also the third schedule, the oath. Now, the additional safeguards I'm going to bring up. First of all, they must disclose all foreign citizenship. It's very important. Yes, a dual citizen, but you must disclose that. Then, you also have to disclose any foreign public office or allegiance.
I mean, after all, you stay, you keep on now. Wait a minute, go there.
I hope I'm not shouting.
You are not shouting, she's hearing you. She's hearing you, don't worry. I look at the video, I look at the video and enjoy. Say citizenship, they can still come.
The problem here is, let's don't get petty on this one. I start sensing that already. We talk about significant foreign or financial interest. Now the question, I'm worried. What about the position of Chief Immigration Officer?
Yes, we come to that.
The Chief of Defense Staff?
Yes.
No,
we need protection.
The Inspector General of Police?
Yes.
In as much as we are ready to take this bold step, but let's try to find it. It's possible. It's doable.
Even Attorney General,
so let's look at it. These are the safeguards. The 24 months will be even preceding the election year. So it's about how do we track some of these things.
Honorable. Order. Proceed.
It's about the tracking. So again, we have to think deep. That's why I cited the sections that will be affected. We'll come back to this condition. But I rest my case for now. There are many more that will come on as far as the concerned. So thank you very much.
No, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
No, you don't want me to stop?
He's right.
After Honorable Bakare, Honorable Ekeki.
Thank you, sir.
Then I will allow Honorable what is it? Democrat, yes, Democrat.
Thank you.
All of you wait. Yes, Honorable Bakare.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I don't think we are asked to having our brothers coming back home to contribute to national development of state building. But what some of us want to protect is the national security of our
within the governance trajectory of our nation.
I
had the opportunity of having discussion with the chairman of the legislative committee, and I think he has a couple of those critical governance positions we agreed on. That we should put forward. And I just want to make addition to the list we have just called out. My brother over there was talking about our finance, our monies, the bank governor. In addition to that, I think the office of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner,
you block everything.
the Auditor General, the Deputy Minister of Defense. Yes, the Commissioner General, the Deputy Minister of Defense, and Minister of General Affairs. Those are key security sectors when it comes to protecting our national interests. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable AKK.
Mr. Chairman, the Honorable AKK and the Chief Whip. Mr. Chairman, I think if we are making law, we must be open-minded about the law we make. We cannot stand here and say we are giving opportunities to our brothers who contribute their monies unconditionally to political parties, who pays their air tickets, their airfare to come here and register and vote in our elections. And Mr. Chairman, let's not forget that the period between registration and voting, sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's 3 months. So they are required to come, buy air tickets, come register. They will stay for a few days and they will go back to their country where they are staying, where they are working, and they would have to come back, buy another ticket to come and vote. Sometimes some of them even come during the campaign period. They will join us to canvass. They do that because they are patriotic. They do that because they believe that whatever citizenship that they may have acquired, they may have done that because of greener pasture and because they want to contribute to the financial state of their country. So, Mr. Chairman, if you are saying you are giving them opportunity to be parliamentarian, what position is more sensitive than being a parliamentarian? You have total opportunity to see the entire state in its bare form. You examine the budget, you perform oversight, you do some appropriation committee. So if you say you are going to be member of parliament, you would have the power to rise to the position of leader of government business, or leader of opposition, or chairman of the public account committee. Mr. Chairman, even if you are not chairman of PAC because they say deputy speaker is tied, you are chairman of transparency. You cannot give them, like we say in our local parlance, you hold the rope, you give the cow, you hold the rope. Please, if we are tying it to the presidency, the vice presidency, the chief justice, attorney general, let us allow them to come and not suffocate them with an opportunity as if they are coming to beg. They are Sierra Leoneans. These are our brothers and sisters. You see, we have lived in apprehension for too long, Mr. Chairman.
Why are we even disowning them?
Why are we disowning them? That's the point.
Why are we even disowning them?
Why? These are our brothers. They've gone out there. They can never be more patriotic to this country than any other country. So my submission is, let us limit the restriction and let us keep our minds open. 76(1) has been in our constitution for the longest time, not until the revered lawyer Francis Gabero raised it. But all of those people that have been serving during that period, when 76(1) was in our constitution and they hold dual citizenship, they have never tried to undermine the state. They have never created a situation to undermine the state. So let us be open and let us pass the law so that it will benefit our brothers and our compatriots.
Mr. Chairman, I listened to the Deputy Speaker spoke eloquently and even made points for our brothers and sisters staying overseas. I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to say thanks to the AG for bringing us to speed. We had this same provision in the 5th Parliament. We had so many discussions around it, but we were not able to do the amendment based on certain reasons. Today we have the opportunity to make the amendment. Definitely there are going to be caveats, but we want to do it consensus, maybe with the paramount chiefs and my colleagues on the other side. So we can agree Certain caveat, but a caveat that makes sense to everybody, that is practicable in living overseas. In overseas, you can have dual citizenship, because if you follow the phrase supporting why proposing for us to do the amendment, they said in clause 14A, Roman 2, we are mindful of that statement, but they are patriotic in Serbia, as you said, and we don't go over that. Then in countries like in America, as long as you have dual citizenship, you cannot be part of the police force. So we cannot say you cannot be part of the police force, but for example, the Inspector General of Police, we are talking about, as you said, for the Attorney General, that is another case, because as the General, the position of it, even in the Constitution, is secret. That's why the AG, when appointed, doesn't come to Parliament for approval. The nature of that office is very critical. So it's a matter of just all of us to give the responsibility to the chairman of the State Committee to put something in caveat that we can agree. And as we talk about ordinary residents, we have taxes, local tax, NACIT, all of these things we can work on, so that it just can serve as what we have in the best practice. That one could be a way to appease certain people. I know my colleagues, before this time, all of us, we have been apprehensive about what will happen to our this, to that. But we are doing it in the true sense of the seriousness we have, the loving spirit we have for our country. So the spirit is this, that let us do this amendment, that we accommodate our brothers. During the interregnum, all of us, let us be honest, we are yearning to go overseas. And if overseas, as Honorable Uyata said, we are given the opportunity to naturalize, thinking about the time we were, the difficulty during the interregnum, and thinking about the maladministration for over 20-something years before the war. All of these things. So we have to rethink, to reset our memories, to look at where we can go. And it is not a pro bono business. We have accepted. That's why I said, let me say thanks to the minister. And your appeal he made is very clear. So as we just agree to accept the amendment with caveats, let us don't do the caveat in the word. Once we look at other clauses, we are coming. By the time we reach here, we now have a discussion around the caveat that we put around the 76 one. So I advise Mr. Speaker that going into over and over, it doesn't make any sense to all of us. Let us agree, we move on, we come to it, having a caveat that will be a consensus caveat. I respect this, sir.
Okay, after Honorable AKK, then I will listen to you. Can you do something beautiful? Let's work on something beautiful.
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Honorable members, I supported this bill and it's part of the clause, and I will always do at every level. I start with an appeal. Since this voting will be done under secret ballot, I appeal to my colleague MPs that for the sake of the progress of our nation, this particular one that has to do with 2C, let us vote for it and don't vote against it. But Mr. Speaker, my worry is when we put all the caveats, there is one we've not mentioned. What if the person has committed a crime from the country where he's coming from? Maybe rape, and is being deported. Do we have a situation in the law, Mr. AG, that where we examine the criminal record of the person, where he's coming from before allowing him to a kind of background check? No, I'm talking about being a member of parliament. You don't go to appointment committee to be a member of parliament. The police clearance is for internally in Sierra Leone. Can you listen to ourselves?
See, Honorable AKK, you don't even need to worry yourself about that. The opponent will bring forth all of those.
No, Mr. Speaker, why do you want that in the law?
Opponents are very powerful.
Mr. Speaker, you can read it.
I know what you're saying, Mr.
You can read it up, but if there is no
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Would there be a caveat to that effect?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honourable members. I support caveats, just not to extend them so much. I'd like to provide some context with your name, Mr. Speaker. But to the point raised by the honourable member, we have already proposed language in this bill to disqualify persons.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes, hold on, Mr. Minister.
First, in every provision, sorry sir, if you want to build a house, you have to get a very good foundation. If you want to build a wall, you don't give the bricks the appropriate time to build, you have a collapse in the construction. You don't put the appropriate kind of rod like they're measuring, you have collapse. So we have laid the foundation. Yeah? If you look at page 15 of the proposed bill, everything that my colleague on the other side has proposed is there. So what you have said, I said, let us come to putting up in place in caveats. By consensus, reaching out to the other side, the paramount chief, we have a document that should be accepted by all. But if you start to address it in this bill, I'm afraid, police on this other side, police on the other side, individual feelings. Let us take a break. We have something around it. We present it to all the groups, and we come here to agree. The consensus we need to have, we protect the interests of our states, as well as proposed. Already it is in the bill, talking about juvenile, you are busy. We are a nation of goodwill.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. Legal government business. You know, the point is that we have all agreed in principle. All what we are looking at are the necessary conditions, and that's all the more reason why I told the minister to address us on some of these issues.
Yeah,
because I think, Mr. Minister, hold on, the leader of the opposition.
Yes, it's clear. They will all be guided by the same legislation.
Yes.
When we say it must not have criminal records, it will cover everybody, regardless of where you come from.
Everybody.
You know, the vetting process.
But the conditions for becoming a member of parliament will apply.
Yes, exactly.
All the relevant conditions will apply.
And just as the Deputy Speaker was saying, we should not be too restrictive over our brothers and sisters who are over there. We should not limit them. And one of the reasons for which he said Parliament is a critical arm of government. If you have allowed somebody to come to Parliament and make restrictions in other offices, that person will come to Parliament and change the law, change the restrictions that they have created. So it does not make any sense. So to me, I am going to advise that we have our open policy.
And let's not go with the idea that we are electing presidents who do not know what they are doing. Presidents know exactly what they do. So let's not underrate our presidents. You think a president is going to take somebody with some issues related to his personality, and that president appoints such a person to a sensitive office? No president is going to do that. So let's not underrate our presidents. Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honourable members, and thank you, Leader of the Opposition. I think you've addressed my concerns as well, and Leader of Government, to the point raised on criminal record. I will not go into that anymore, but I will just talk about the caveats, Mr. Speaker, honourable members. I agree with members of Parliament who have said we should not stretch this too much. We should not overstretch it. It will be the proposal of government that the restrictions be kept to the positions we have proposed. We have listed those offices that are in line, for the presidency. Mr. Speaker, honourable members, let's deal with some realities. This country has been through crisis before. We pride ourselves in being a stable democracy. Doesn't mean that the door is completely closed on what could happen in this country anytime in the future. But when we had crisis before, We brought in a Nigerian as Chief of Defense Staff, when we embarked on a reform process before, we brought in a British national, as Inspector General of Police. But the examples go beyond Sierra Leone. Even without crisis, there are times when a country will genuinely want to benefit from the expertise of some person holding another nationality. Examples abound across the globe. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the current Prime Minister of Canada, who was Governor of the Bank of Canada in 2008, did exceptionally well. The United Kingdom, of all places, hired him as Governor of the Bank of England, a position he held from 2013. We have seen Tijani Thiam, an Ivorian, based on his expertise, what he did with Credit Suisse, hired to head the Kigali International Finance Center in Rwanda. But let's bring this home, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. We make a lot of reference to the former Attorney General Abdullahi Conte, who we sometimes say the architect of the 1991 Constitution, and who sadly passed not too long ago. Noting that in Belize, he was Chief Justice for 10 years. So this is how other countries have benefited from persons who hold our own nationality. So restricting the space to all of these positions that have been proposed, we might be tying ourselves in ways that might affect us in the future if the need arises to look beyond persons carrying just the Sierra Leonean passport. So it will be a submission to this honorable House that yes, this comes with a caveat, but such caveat be limited to the positions that we have proposed, and that they not be extended for reasons that I've mentioned and examples that I have provided, the restriction not be extended. In fact, another example, remember the former Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police in London, who was moved to New York, and all of that. So, again, we have Sierra Leoneans providing expertise in different parts of the world, and those Sierra Leoneans, we have not even talked about foreign nationals, but those Sierra Leoneans who were born here, or those persons who are Sierra Leoneans by birth. I don't want my quota Dr. Mfa to come after me. But those Sierra Leoneans, those persons who are Sierra Leoneans by birth, but happen, for any reason whatsoever, to hold citizenship of another country, I agree with the chair of the Legislative Committee that those persons should disclose those other countries that they hold allegiance to, but that for positions to be held, we propose that they be limited to those that are in line with the presidency. That will be my submission, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, stage 14.
Mr. Speaker, please, I want to call your attention to the time.
Okay.
My move as stage5 to suspend for the business of the House of Representatives.
Any seconder? All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Proceed. Page 14? 15. Yes.
Clause 14b(2), which is at the top of page 15. 20, page 15. Yes, page 15. It begins from page 14.
Yes.
It says.
Hold on. At this stage, I recognize the presence of Honorable Tondone, who is here with us. Yes, proceed. Page 14 to 15.
Yes, at the bottom of page 14. It's says a public officer who is one employed or paid from the consolidated revenue form, and I have problem with this woman too. Say at a level that requires him to clear his assets under the Anti-Corruption Act 2008 and shall not be eligible to contest an election under the Constitution unless he resigns from the office at least 6 months before the date of election.
Honorable members, how many months? How many months? You just tell us the months.
No, that's not my contention. My contention, my first contention is with the wording.
Yes.
It says at a level that requires him to declare his assets under the Anti-Corruption Act 2008. So it means the day Parliament changes the Anti-Corruption Act 2008 any other year,
yes,
then it will not be effective.
Mr. Minister. Mr. Minister, that's the crafty way of putting it.
Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Minister.
You don't want to.
Yes, yes, just shortly, sir. I'm going to suggest that we revert back to how it was. We just changed from 12 months to 6 months so that we have earlier opportunity.
Yes, leader of government.
I think you have said the excellent very clear on that.
Yes, very clear.
So
we leave it at that?
Yes.
Again, we leave it at that.
Let me come.
Yes.
We have amended that several times.
Yes.
We were stating the law is like we are trying by extension. We are looking at
maintain the law as it is.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, this parliament will be on record to note that if we are flexible, we have to be flexible right through. If we are flexible with our brothers outside, we have to be flexible within. Because we are connected.
There is no way you are going to win that. There is no way you are going to win that.
Mr. Chairman, you will be shocked if I vote for the 6-1 and you will see the number of votes I will fight.
Honorable members, don't waste my time. There is no way anybody is going to win that.
Mr. Chairman, my brother is serving in the armed forces, and my brother has served up until a period to defend this nation, the territorial integrity of this nation, and he wants to be a politician now. He's not carrying the role of this nation. Why do you wait for 12 more? Why? Everyone will say why? Why?
Mr. Maintain the law as it is.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Just some brief comments on this. I think the reference to...
Somebody is saying it's because you have no more interest in parliament.
No, sir. You see, what I believe in my works, and I believe in the way I identify with people. So this time the end of time is zero. I have said it. And I am contesting, and people know I am contesting. Whether it's any level, I will still come back. Because even my chairman is a
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, context matters. I take the comments made by the leader of the opposition about reference to the Anti-Corruption Act. We will include that as amended. But the rationale, Mr. Speaker, this Parliament amended the Anti-Corruption Act to require persons employed in the civil and public service below a particular group to not have that obligation to disclose their assets. That also informed our thought process. But I'd like to give examples, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. Not so much for the soldier. Of course, I take that example as well for someone who has served. But I always like to give this example of a teacher or a health worker in Bikolo, or in Mongol, or in Thailand, someone who has served their community, and they carry the trust of that community. But of course, we know the conditions under which teachers in certain communities or in the country serve in this country, or health workers. But then, they are so respected, such persons are so respected in their communities, that these communities want to send them to Parliament to represent them. So what we are saying, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with this provision, we're basically saying even someone at that level, a primary school teacher, who carries the trust of their community, and who that community wants to send to Parliament to represent them, we're saying that person at that level must resign and live in poverty for 12 months before they can come to Parliament. That would be, in my humble submission, absurd. I don't think that would have been the intent of the framers of this Constitution, and so it is our submission that such persons that work in the public and civil service below a particular grade be exempted from this law. That is the position.
Yes, hold on. Okay, after leader, I will allow the leader of the opposition, then the chief whip. Yes, leader.
This is a progressive parliament. If we are flexible enough to encourage our brothers and sisters who are still in diaspora to come and participate in the process, we should also be flexible enough for parties who are going to be part of it, who have contributed, they have worked, and we have persons who retire, let's say 6 months, 8 months to election, who have served the civil service, the public service, 8 months to election, and we are saying that person should not be given the opportunity to express. Mr. Speaker, hold on, sir, let me just start. Mr. Chairman, hold on, let me land, please.
Yes.
Please.
Oh no, give me 1 minute. You know what? All those who want the law to maintain the law as it is, stand up. No, hold on. All those who want the law maintained, the law that has to do with 12 months, just stand in your place, let me see. Those who want the law to continue as it is, they resign 12 months before election. Stand up, let me see. All those who want 6 months, stand up. 6 months.
SO 46(2) makes provision for abstention. So a good number of them are still.
No, I am sure if you have a secret ballot, we will know whether or not they want to support me or they want to support us. Because we are together.
Chairman, they are poor.
Honorable member, leaders.
That's another enemy that I was expecting to support me.
I just need a test case. I just need a test case for you to know that your argument is in futility. I just need a test case for you to know that your argument is in futility. So instead of wasting time on this particular matter, let's move on.
No, let's take a beat.
I'll take a beat.
Let's take a beat because we don't have full house. Mr. Chairman, we don't have full house. Let's take a beat. Mr. Chairman, let's take a beat on this because we don't have full house. Progress, I don't know where progress.
Yes, proceed.
Yes, to me, I think it is very unfair. Officers to be limited from contesting for members of parliament. So I want us to cascade it a little further. There are public officials who are also contesting for flag bearership in their political party that are using public resources to campaign, to go to places. So also, if anybody wants to contest for flag bearer in his political party, must decide on
Mr. Chairman, the 1991 Constitution is clear over the use of state resources for political gain. That is why the 1-year ban was made for civil servants and people working for government. And these are people who are under instructions. They are not necessarily earning the institutions and the resources. They don't have total control over resources. But what the leader is saying, we are talking about commissioners, we are talking about ministers, people who carry total responsibility, and they move place to place using their authorities to gain their own individual desire for president. Mr. Speaker, if we are dividing teachers who are paid 2,000 euros, if we are dividing ordinary civil servants who are paid 1,500,000, who do not have, they don't use PM,
they don't have government vehicles, they don't stay in government quarters. I think it is more fitting for the safeguard of state resources we export it to the presidency.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I feel we are what you said is very bad this year. Mr. Chairman, when we are doing constitution and we are unfolding, the vote is civil majority. And I believe when you pose the question for the 1 year and 6 months, there was a vote. So if we come back to that one, to take a pin to win.
No, we are not taking a pin, we are done with that.
Thank you. So which stance? Mr. Chairman, no, there was no ruling. No, there was no ruling on the vote. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, in fact, the argument for protecting the use of state resources really supports the higher position that persons working below a particular grade who, in fact, will not have access to state resources beyond their salaries be excluded from this. Mr. Minister, the judge has ruled. The judge has ruled. The president has ruled.
Mr. Minister, maintain the law as it is. Honorable members, at this stage, I recognize the presence of the chairman of the LCDP. I also recognize the presence of the chairman of APC, Ambassador Usman Lekos. I recognize the presence of the Deputy Minister of Mines, who was the Secretary General of the LCDP. I also recognize the presence of the Secretary General of APC, Mr. Lanza. I recognize the presence of the principal executive advisor to His Excellency the President of Public Service, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima. I also recognize the presence of the Deputy Mayor of Freetown, Mr. Kukulis. I recognize the presence of a very powerful female former member of parliament who also doubles as the current advisor of His Excellency the President on parliamentary matters, Honorable Dr. Fatmata Hassan. I also recognize the presence of one of the key negotiators of the agreement of national unity and a very powerful member of the APC, Dr. Kefala Mara. I recognize the presence of Madam Haja Fatmata Kamara. Are you here? She is the Deputy National Women's Leader and Deputy Minister of Trade and Investment. I recognize the presence of Mr. Nabil Musa Kamara. Is he here? I recognize the presence of the press attaché to the High Commission, Israeli High Commission to the Gambia, Madam Hawa. I Dr. Victor A.B. Davis. I also recognize the presence of Alhaji A.K. Sese. I recognize the presence of Mr. Harold Toure. I also recognize the presence of Mr. Ibrahim Sori Sese. Mr. Ibrahim Sori Sese is the Secretary General of APA. I recognize the presence of Mr. Simeon Bangura. I also recognize the presence of a very senior lawyer in this country, Mr. Adi Macaulay. I recognize the presence of the Chief Executive Officer of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Authority, Mr. Shaka Samusano. I recognize the presence of a very strategic member of the APC who also doubles as a former minister in the APC government-led government, Mr. Balogun Kroma. I also recognize the presence of Madam Mariama Lubangura. I recognize the presence of the former mayor of Freetown, Mr. Herbert John Williams.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Please. We have Madam Mariam from Bangura, Marabaru, as the women's leader national of the APC.
Ah, is that
yes.
Unfortunately, that is not written down. We recognize you. I also recognize the presence of Mr. John Sese. Mr. John Sese is here. I recognize the presence of Mr. Mohamed Pope Kamara. I recognize the presence again of Honorable Aymara. I recognize the presence of Honorable Lahadi Aladi. I recognize the presence of Honorable Alusan Alukonte. I recognize the presence of Honorable Johnson. I recognize the presence of Mr. Daniel Mongo Kamara. Where is he gone? And I recognize the presence. Okay, we'll come to that later. We'll come to that later. Proceed. Yes, Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker. There was a proposal put forward by my leader that the minister had to respond to. And I second that. I echo my voice to it. Our argument basically is saying, because we want to minimize the use of state resources and create a level playing ground for ministers.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, if a teacher wants to be a member of parliament, he must resign 1 year.
Hold on. Let me recognize the presence of somebody who have been coming to this world that you do not know. Let me recognize him today for all of you to know. And he's been a lecturer in the law school for over 30 years. He's the lecturer of Honorable Gevao, the lecturer of the AG, the lecturer of the Speaker, the lecturer of Honorable Daniel Kumar, the lecturer of Honorable Thibault, the lecturer of Tambakeli, Honorable Tambakeli. He's the lecturer of all of us. And he's Mr. Dennis Itob. If all of us make presentations on the lower here, it was one of those that made all of us, all the lawyers there, without exception, all the lawyers there, all the lawyers. You had me yesterday warning Honorable Thibault when I told him your lecturer was the one who did the drafting and was there arguing. That's the lecturer who lectured all the lawyers you are seeing here. The AG, the Speaker, Honorable Geva, everybody here. So I particularly recognize his presence. You are heartily welcome, sir. Mr. Speaker, of course, Sheridan and others.
In addition to that, going for a very popular statement at the law school.
Yes.
Before whites, the whites.
So I also recognize the presence of a brother, Mr. Patrick Robin. I saw him at the back. Please stand up to be recognized. He's a brother and he came here today. Is that the Aberdeen flag? Is that the Aberdeen flag? Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
I am of the farmer's conviction that it is not fair for public officials to be subjected to the circumstances that ministers of government are not subjected to, especially when the AG said, that for grade lower, I agree with him because teachers are paid very small salaries, so they cannot suffer that. But government ministers receive one of the highest salaries. So if a public officer should resign 12 months before contesting for a member of parliament position, a minister should resign 12 months before contesting for a president.
Honorable members, please listen to me. Let me address this point. Honorable members, to say that somebody is contesting for a particular position is a question of fact. It's a question of fact. You must be able to prove that somebody is contesting for a particular position. There is no way any one of you can prove that a minister is contesting for a particular position. In fact, most of the time when ministers are ministers, they don't come out openly to campaign. They don't come out. You only see somebody posting their pictures and somebody posting that they are contesting. It's a question of fact.
Mr. Speaker, it's in support of this statement that you're making.
Yes.
Because I am not sure that there is any minister that is contesting. It shows that I am not malicious in suggesting this one. So if there is any minister who is being hypocritical, if there is any minister who is hiding his intention, then the law will hold him back.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, for you to participate in your internal politics doesn't guarantee you the automatic stance that you are a candidate. Our point here is you should not be a flag bearer. For you to participate for the position of flag bearer, doesn't guarantee you that you are the flag bearer. It's an internal party dynamic. And the party, honorable members, the parties, our political parties should be able to censor their candidates in making sure that the candidate fulfill all the criteria that he should fulfill based on the constitution. So if the parties present candidates that are not fit for purpose, then you have an opportunity to protest. But for you to say you want to participate and you should decide and you apply towards the position, then that's
Sit down. Mr. AG, proceed. Let me hear you. Proceed. We are on page 15.
Mr. Chairman, on page 15.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, 15.2.
Yes.
That for you to be qualified, you should not have been found guilty of certain offences.
Yes.
But at the same time, beg that even when you are found guilty, if an appeal is pending, because there is an appeal, it does not serve as a disqualification. Mr. Chairman, I think...
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Read that.
When you come to... It says, a person shall not be qualified for election as a member of parliament if he has been convicted of any of the following offences and sentenced to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 12 months without the option of a fine, whether the conviction occurs in Sierra Leone or elsewhere, if the conduct would constitute an offence in Sierra Leone. And when it comes further, it says any other offence punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 12 or more, provided that a person shall not be regarded as disqualified until an appeal against the conviction or sentence has been determined or until the time for an appeal has expired. My point is, it means you remain convicted, even though convicted, but because you have an appeal, you are qualified to contest.
A convict is a convict.
A convict is a convict.
A convict is a convict.
So I am saying we remove that clause of
until the appeal is determined.
Yes.
So we just leave it at that.
Yes.
Until the appeal is determined, or until you succeed at an appeal, you are still a convict.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. So we have to look at it to reflect that position that you have held. Not merely because an appeal is lodged, would you be qualified. Even if an appeal is lodged, until it is determined you remain a convict. But that's not what is in the bill.
Until the appeal is determined, you are a convict. So no, we have to. Yes, leader.
Mr. Chairman, you are making a point that is already agreed by the proposal in front of us, and I don't know why you. If you read it. F, you are reading F. Any other offence punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 12 or more, provided that a person shall not be regarded as disqualified until an appeal against the convicted or sentence has been determined, or until the time for an appeal has expired. Mr. Chairman, I feel principle of natural justice applies here quickly. In normal situations where you think you have the right to appeal, even when you are convicted in the cases, he said, because the principle of natural justice giving you the right to make another case or a submission. Our laws speaks to the fact that you have to make an appeal. So if you are given an appeal, the only thing that can be different from here is the issue of integrity issue. Where elections are really has to do a lot of integrity because you want to man the office of state. So why now we can agree to make it very clear instead of subjecting it to natural, to the normal circumstances where you appeal. For election purposes, we can say even if you are having an appeal until the appeal is cleared or the court is giving a judgment against the appeal. But for me,
until the appeal is determined in your favor, you are a convict.
You are a convict.
And it will be outrageous for us to make a law to say that as long as you have an appeal,
yes,
you cannot allow convicts.
No, yeah, wait. So now that's what I'm saying. No, this clause now on the next sentence is say you are not disqualified. So that's what I'm asking. Yes, look at it. Let me read. No, provided that he said any other offense punishable by imprisonment or by a term exceeding 12 or more. The next one, provided that a person shall not be regarded as disqualified until an appeal against the convict or sentence has been determined. Or until the time of an appeal has expired. So the principle of natural justice applies here. That's what they are saying. So I'm saying now for elections, we can agree to say, no, this one, we are waiting for the final hearing of the appeal. So just like you have election courts, if you go to the Public Elections Act, the elections court is different from the other courts. They are trying to expedite the process so that we cannot interfere with the ruling. So for me, I think we have to look at it in terms of integrity issues to our elections or the individual, because you are going into an office if elected. But if you are talking about appeal, if you have this issue of criminal conviction hanging upon you, you have been convicted, but you are waiting an appeal, it's a mixed feeling of our constituents. So we want to draw a clear line of sanity that no, this is not about principle of natural justice. It's about principle of decency in our electoral system. I am just thinking about it. But for me, sir, for me to place some of these things in the constitution, I don't think it's the right place. These things should come in the Public Elections Act. That's why I'm drawing attention to the consequential amendment.
Mr. Minister,
it should not be in the Constitution. It should be in the Public Elections Act 2022.
Mr. Minister, it's so outrageous.
Yes.
So if you begin to think about this,
yes,
in our Constitution, yes, I don't see any rationale for this. If somebody is convicted, just imagine somebody is convicted of treason, of murder, or manslaughter, of rape, sexual penetration. And you want to even tolerate that kind of conversation?
Mr. Chairman,
you even want to tolerate that kind of conversation?
The reason why I drew my attention to this, in the Legal Practitioners Act, we have a similar clause, wherein if you are disbarred, the moment you lodge an appeal, that decision is a stay. The moment you lodge an appeal, so it's the same effect that this clause was about to have. Even when you are convicted, once you appeal, you stand not to be disqualified until that's the effect that this has. So we have to delete it. Yes.
So Mr. Chairman, the proposed Legal Practitioners Act actually addresses that.
Not the proposed one. I am talking about the instant law, not the.
No, I'm saying we are dealing with it, but this should not really be it. It should not be an appeal bar. It should not be. It should not.
And the sad thing is that when you win your elections, and we start protecting you, we start invoking privileges. You say no, you cannot be taken to prison. So
Mr. Chairman, let's remove it from the Constitution.
Totally. When you win, it becomes complicated.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
You know, I perfectly want to agree, and as I said, Honorable Diego made a point on the principle of natural justice. And my colleague now supported my position. But let me tell you, on the issue of the Sexual Offences Act, which I presented to this House, the Sexual Offences Act, you know there is an administrative aspect of that act, which has not been fulfilled. This issue of sexual penetration, we agree with the moral guarantors that we should pass this act on the pretext that we are going to have the administrative part to deal with this law decisively that has to do with sexual penetration, the forensic testing. I went as far as the British Council to meet with the High Commissioner. I made an appeal that we have done our best to pass this law. It was a real confrontation between us and the paramount chiefs.
and we made certain undertakings that has to do with that particular act. Let me tell you, we need to review that act, in fact. So bringing sexual penetration here is a whole ball game. So for me, we want to make our elections credible and bring some decency. But constitutions are different from other acts. That the way you deal with constitution amendment is different to the way you deal with the act of parliament, act of parliament. So let us agree, just take it, since we are anticipating part 2 of the consequential amendments to this bill, let us just take it to the public elections after 2022.
Yes,
That's my submission.
Mr. Minister, I think that would be great.
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Also on the same subject as my leader just said,
yes,
we should try to think about these two elections,
on the same page?
as elections-related offences. Elections.
Where is the yes?
No, but that was the original position.
Yes, but
if you are found guilty of a crime relating to the election of member
so we could amend the law.
So if we are taking that off, it will also affect the extant law. And equally, I see they are proposing to delete paragraph 8 of the extant law. I don't know why.
Yes, Honorable.
Yeah, just hold on, please. You see, I don't know if we are doing this in tandem with the Public Elections Act. From section 143 right down to section 153 deals with elections offences and petition courts. These are serious matters. This act was deliberated for over 3-4 months. If we have just proposed again, talking about offences here, we are ignoring the extant law for elections. We are not really playing fairness to the law. Yeah. So what I've said is just in line with what the leader of the opposition said. We are over legislating, and that is why we overlap with the law, and automatically we are altering the law. That is why Honorable Tawa have said. He has just said it. We are altering the law. It's very bad, and in the constitution it is treasonable. Because it's an act of parliament, we are just over legislating it. We can't do that.
Mr. Minister. Yes, hold on, let me hear from the minister. Yes?
May I confer, please?
You want to confer? Okay, why is this conferring? Yes, let me hear you.
Yes, and Mr. Speaker, when I looked at C, under the offences that can prevent someone from contesting rape or sexual penetration, I have no problem with rape. But when I looked at the definition of sexual penetration under interpretation, then certain things are missing. I read the definition.
Under sexual
offences act.
Which interpretation? In this bill?
No, part 1 of Sexual Offences Act.
Yes, define that.
Yes.
Read that out.
Yes. It says sexual penetration means any act which causes the penetration to any extent of the vagina, anus, or mouth of a person by the penis or any other part of the body of another person, of an object. There's something missing. Without the consent of that other person, is not there. Without the consent of that other person, is not in the definition.
In the definition.
Yes, it's not there. So when you use it this way here, sexual penetration, it only becomes an offense if there's no consent. The definition.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. There is a reason. Under the laws of Sierra Leone, you do not have a consent until you are 18 years old. Sexual penetration is for anybody less than 18 years old. So in fact, sexual penetration and rape are the same. The only difference is the age. So you do not have right to consent in 18 years old.
That is strict liability. That is strict liability. You do not need any consent. Because when you do that to somebody below the age, below the relevant age, the question of consent does not arise. There is no question of consent. Yes. Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the education. The truth is, in penetration, it's a child and a minor does not have consent. And because it's a minor, the definition will not include the consent. If the child is 17 years, 11 months, the child is a minor. If she's the one who went into your room, undressed you, she has no consent. So stay away from kids, allow the kids to go to school.
Mr. Speaker, why are we all referring to minors? Even an adult that's above 18.
That's rape. Adult is rape. It's not sexual penetration.
I'm concerned because he said rape or sexual penetration. Rape or sexual penetration.
Yes. Rape for big people. Sexual penetration for children.
Mr. Chairman, the penetration here is not the physical penetration of your penis into the body of a woman. It is the act done on a child. Is called penetration. Whilst rape is the act you do forcefully on a woman. So that's why the law is saying for rape, that is an adult. There you talk about consent. If you look at the definition, in penetration there is nothing like consent because it's a minor. A minor does not have consent. Just as we ask you not to marry the kids below 18 years.
That's honorable.
Finally,
in relation to my brother's submission, he said an adult cannot be penetrated. Let's say you use your hand to penetrate an adult.
It's called
Mr. Chairman, point of order 34. Mr. Chairman, point of order 34. Mr. Chairman, point of order 34.
Yes,
you see, I just introduced the phrase, and you have now seen the way rancorous we are. So, thinking about putting this in the constitution, because the whole election system to go back. So, what you are saying, we are not making these laws for elections to vilify anybody. We are doing it to safeguard our electoral process to be more credible. So bringing some of these things to the constitutional amendment, it's making us worrisome. Now, how can you legislate defining penetration, non-penetration, when we have it already enacted by this very parliament? How can we think that was deliberated, voted on, and passed by this house? Mr. Chairman, we should not put the laws we make into question. If we seek for an amendment, let us bring it to the fore. Yes, exactly. The chairman rule against rule. We should proceed.
Are you inducing the chairman to rule against
Mr. Yes, Honorable Sama.
I wanted to suggest, in relation to the leader's submission, that we amend the Public Elections Act and expunge this from the proposal here for us.
Noted. Honorable Sama. Yes, Honorable Sama, proceed. Are you okay now? Yes.
Anybody? Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I have a personal concern with regards 3B, which talks about panel. You know, 3 is actually talking about how
murder, manslaughter, or treason, as additions to fraud, dishonesty, or corruption, and election-related offences. If it helps, the proposal dealing with any other offence punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 12 months, we can dispose of that if members of parliament so wish. But in terms of hierarchy of offences, to just limit what we put in the constitution to fraud or dishonesty in election-related offences, will be putting them at a level higher than those in statute. And to accept if it is the decision of this Honourable House that disqualifiers relating to convictions for criminal conduct be moved to the Public Elections Act as proposed for these other offences. But if we are to list these ones in the Constitution and then move those other ones to statute, we'll be creating a hierarchy in offences which will qualify or disqualify certain persons from serving as members of parliament. That would be my submission. But whilst I have the mic, Mr. Speaker, may I just make a correction on page 15, C. Page 15C reads in paragraph H by deletion of that paragraph. Paragraph H actually relates to being president, vice president, minister, deputy minister under this constitution, and then of course not being qualified to hold office, not being qualified for election as member of parliament. If we delete that, then it will mean ministers and others of president, vice president can run for parliament. What we actually intended to delete was E. Because he says if he's under a sentence of death imposed on him by any court. We recommend the deletion of this particular clause because this country, under the leadership of His Excellency the President, and of course, with the support of this Honourable House, death penalty is no longer a sentence in Sierra Leone, so we recommend that that be deleted completely. That's 76(1)(e). So that is what we intended to delete when, by mistake, we said H. Okay, thank you.
Chair, I don't think we are against the proposal for penalties for disqualification under making it very clear. He is trying to express, if you go to 76(2) and 3, 76(2) and 3, which makes provision for what he has also presented to us a proposal. 76(2), a person shall not be qualified for elections to Parliament if he is convicted by any court of any offence connected with the election of members of Parliament. That is one. And he said he has elucidated on it and expanding on it in paragraph in page 15 that has to do with 2. If you go there, he stated it. And he now listed all the categories of offences that has to do with only in line with that provision in the Constitution. But 2 is also informing 3. So we should not keep the E part of it. Now let me go to 3. Said provided, that is the extension of 2, provided that in any such case, the period of disqualification shall not exceed the period of 5 years from the date of the general election following the one for which he was disqualified. And now he said, and that one, that same provision in page 15, we have it with E. E is out of repeat E in this provision. Now 3, any person who is the holder of any office, the functions of which involve responsibility for or in connection with the conduct of any election to Parliament or the compilation of any register of voters for the purposes of such an election shall not be qualified for election to members of Parliament, election to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, as I said, you see the next substance to inform them. You cannot sustain E, so all of them you have to remove them. Now, how do you address them?
even this Public Elections Act, we dealt with them decisively. So if you want us to look at them in a manner that you want to really express a level of misconduct or particular sexual penetration or this, it should not be in the Constitution. So we should delete all of what has to do with this section 2 and 3 in the bill to us, and we address them appropriately in line with the Public Elections Act 2022. We now seek for the amendment. He has also proposed to us a consequential amendment in part 2 of this bill. We are positively aligned for it. But the danger, when I introduced the offenses, sexual offenses, when I talked about it, you had my colleagues on the other side. And that's the same argument you had during the sexual offenses bill. And when we had challenged the paramount chiefs and other people in the chamber. So I'm submitting that he has made there's a provision already in the Constitution. But to actually deal with it on by election process, let us deal with it in election act, the election act. So that is of a lot of gravitas to bring out other things. Because when you talk of penetration, we now ask, how do you? Because you have to also make sure that the accused, you don't just accuse somebody, this has to do with your integrity. Election issues are very sensitive. You don't like your opponent to use it as a case against you. Talk about sexual penetration, you have to penetrate beyond all reasonable doubt, forensic testing and other things. As I speak, that act, you have to be there needs for review. So I'm pleading with him that we maintain the status quo in the law and we come now for the constitutional amendment, deal with the penalties heavily and which will satisfy everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Minister, how do you see that reasoning?
That works for us, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Page 16, the remaining part of page 16, I'm seeing section 85 on page 16.
I think we agree with I think we agree that this one might be a provision. We had a solution by
16 and
by the
section 85
yeah,
and 87 also.
Yes.
Mr. Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So you want those
yes, Mr.
deleted?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, yes, we want those deleted. That would be clause 15.
Yes, clause 15.
And clause 16.
And 16. Deleted.
And then before we get to clause 17,
hold on. Delete clause 15 and 16. Yes. Now on page 17.
Yes,
we are now dealing with clause 16, 17, and 18.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, before we go to clause 17.
Hold on, the leader is up. Yes.
Sorry.
Before page 17, sir. It's just a question on the extant of the Constitution, 7614. 7614 on page 66. Are those laws? No. I'm proposing a further amendment, but it's just like a question.
Yes.
If they are not in place, then we delete them.
Yes.
7614. Those laws mentioned there, like this is Council Act, the Rural Act, I think the Local Government Act took care of most of those laws. But these are only a laws. So I'm based on the Local Government Act, I believe most of these laws were being repealed. So I don't know if it is still in place. Section 7614.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Mr. Speaker, Honourable Member, that is why you will see that same section, same page 16.
Hold on. I recognize the presence of Honourable Children Majuba. And I also recognize the presence of Honourable Sama Sadi. I recognize the presence of the Mayor of Freetown. And I recognize the presence of Madam Sally Adams. President, you very much. Proceed, Mr. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We note that the various statutes referenced in this subsection were repealed by the Local Government Act of 2004, and so that is why on page 16 we have now said that we have now proposed that subsection 5 reads for coherence to actually list the various titles or entities, and then of course in connection with the act. So that is why you will see that 4 says the person shall not be qualified for election as a member of parliament and a regular reason only that he holds the office of a member of chief of council, member of local courts, a member of any body corporate established by or under any of the following laws. That is to say, we have various statutes. So now we have said A, chiefdom council, B, a local court, and then C, a body corporate established under the Local Government Act of 2004. Because the Local Government Act has now repealed all of the various statutes referenced here. Mr. Speaker, so I hope that explains it. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, whilst I have the mic, I also will note an error here because this particular section has had to undergo a lot of renumbering. Of course, it will undergo additional renumbering. I'm noting the decision arrived at by this Honorable House moments ago, still to exclude certain proposals that have been listed here. But so whilst 3 became 4, 4 became 5, 5, subsection 5 was mistakenly left out because subsection 5 will now be subsection 6.
Yes.
What did he just say? I agree. But by retaining this section here means that the Local Government Act will be found to be inconsistent. That particular provision will be found to be inconsistent with the Constitution. But the Constitution still retain those statutes. So it will be found to be inconsistent. So for consistency and to avoid that inconsistency with the statute, it's good that we delete it here. Because it cannot retain those laws while the Local Government Act that is lower, that is just a statute, delete them, for the Constitution still retain them. So we can use this opportunity to delete subsection 4 of section 4 of section 6.
Yes, Honorable Member. So that will be the new subsection 5.
Yes, a new subsection 5.
Yeah. You see, they say, I think if you go to 4 itself, I was just having some discussion because these areas are very sensitive. Because we have to do as we did for, I was making reference to the public elections. We are not drawing attention to the Local Government Act 2004. They also have to delete the anti-corruption that we don't need because of the year. And if we look at 4 in the Constitution, 76.4, what I think and they are proposed to do, I think makes sense. It's only local government that is not mentioned in the system. So we delete this and replace with a proper wording that will capture local government. You don't need to put in here. So what local government is local government? That is what that honorable that I provide saying. That this has been taken, which are not been repealed. So there is inconsistency. So what we need to do now is to bring the local court, local government, and replace it with repeal 4 and replace, incorporating this one with local government. Because even if we're talking about local government Act 2024, it means we challenge it. When it comes to what about the change here, about the new one. So we have to agree this one and replace, incorporate the local community. That is why modification sort of. So let me say, let me come. You see, for what Honorable Danipuma read, a body corporate established under the local government Act 2004, Act number 1 of 2004. What about 2024? 2022? Yeah. So we have to do some modification to restructure it instead of just taking it from the board. We don't put it here to become something and now we need to be very free without dealing with it. So we have to look at the act to just answer. We have to look at the act, what Honorable said, we shall we do notification 76.4. It will appear so nice that we don't complicate ourselves with the local government act. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to know that in complete agreement with the submission made by the leader of public business.
And Honorable
and of course the extension the deputy leader of the opposition.
Okay. So we delete 85 and clause 15 and 16. We are now on page 17, clause 17, 18, 16, 17, and 18.
I was expecting the AG to, because everybody is here, and this is a consultation that I've done all over for our fixed election dates. I was expecting the AG to throw light on this why we should not maintain it and why we should delete it in the Public Elections Act. It is there already. But it did not go to a proper rudiment of enactment. So I do appreciate to hear from you why do we need to ignore this fixed election dates. Thank you.
That is in clause 16.
Yes. Yes, clause 16. Yeah, perfectly right.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, we have noted observations made previously of that to keep sections review of section 85 as well as section 87 in this bill will contradict the provisions in section 108 about a bill for an entrenched clause and a bill for a non-entrenched clause. And so we have agreed that procedurally we will not have entrenched clauses and non-entrenched clauses in the same bill. And noting that on the issue of fixed election dates, that will require an amendment to section 87 and section 87 as well as section 85 are both listed as entrenched clauses in our constitution, and so amendment to these particular provisions will not only require a vote in this honorable house but will also require a referendum. And so it is our submission of that a separate bill.
So 16 goes?
Yes, dealing with entrenched clauses.
16 also goes. 17.
So 15 and 16 will go.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, in the spirit of legislation, it is spirit for us to meet constitutional amendments. I don't want us to take the wish of our people. That because of we are taking out 85 and 87, which has tremendous effect on the lack of its election date in December. In my belief, I submitted to this House that subsidiary legislation must come in between. There are countries we have a fixed election date. The reason why our electoral system is very inconsistent. We fight opposite the announcement this. We are not established to have fixed election dates. You know very well, we have all agreed that it is 85 that the parliament is by itself, the constitutional provision, which are the entrenched provision. We are mindful. We are so mindful of the time limit that when you dissolve parliament, you have 30 days for 90 days. But you really want to have fixed election days. It is a very critical point that has to do with our election system.
Now what is saying?
I want to learn, so you can respond.
We cannot proceed.
You cannot proceed. But there must be a commitment that we as parliament and this nation, it's the wish of the people to have fixed election day. If you make a commitment to have a subsidiary legislation.
You cannot come under this one.
So you make a commitment. That's what I want to get clear.
Oh, you want to get a commitment?
Commitment, because
yes, of course.
It's all about both sides are
Minister, you can make that commitment.
Yes, let's talk that. It's about how do we deal with a fixed election date. That you made a commitment, but it was not clear because you cannot do anything now because you have taken away 87 and 85.
Well,
so what?
The material will be neither here nor there.
Yes.
But for the sake of it,
yes.
We'll listen to you.
It's just a commitment, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Before the minister, please.
Yes, Honorable.
Is a further suggestion supporting the leader of government business.
Yes.
If you go to the clause 87, the solution of parliament.
I noticed recently you always support the leader of government business.
It's my faithful brother from Kenya. You know, I started putting in his head that he should come to parliament.
No, he knows why I'm asking. Yeah, he knows why I'm saying this. You support the leader of government business. You know, I like seeing a thing like that. Proceed, Honorable Kruma.
In addition to what he said, section 87, the solution of parliament, 90 days to election. If we are asking for permanent election date, there should not be, we don't need vacuum. So meaning the legislative arm of government has to continue existing instead of dissolving parliament in 90 days before election. You understand? That would easily attract section 29 in the Constitution. If there's any problem in this country, where the members of parliament are out there campaigning to come back to this place, there will be a problem. So I suggest to the Attorney General that members of parliament should remain in parliament on the after election. We are not coming there.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
That's not practicable. That is not practicable. Yes. Now I know you want to remove that. You don't want civil servants to collect. Within 12, or you want to stay here and be collecting until elections.
Mr. Speaker, yes, I want to assure you of cooperation in this time, and you are, yes.
Yes, proceed, Honorable.
Yes, you will confirm that we have cooperated on this side since we began the process. And we want to jealously guide the process to ensure that we do not abrogate the Constitution in any way and to ensure that we do not go against the laws of this country. So wherever we need to amend and entrench rules, we should in no way circumvent the process. We should do due diligence that we have the Constitution says, especially in 108 subsection 3 for entrench
Wherever we are amending,
I'm saying, whenever we are amending an entrench clause, we should pay due diligence to subsection 3 of section 108.
We are not amending any clause.
No, it's just an advice.
Yes, of course, we are not amending any clause now. We are just fine tuning. We are not amending any clause. We can only amend properly, so called, when the bill passes.
Yes.
Then that is when you amend. Yes.
Sorry, sir. We are not even making an attempt to amend 85 and 87. We are not even doing it. In fact, I said we did an enactment in the Polish Elections Act talking about fixed elections, which was inappropriate. We don't go through the proper processes of parliamentary enactment. So in fact, we have to treat it. That is common up with special amendment. But let me state why I have been making my presentation, that the AG should clear that point. You understand? And we are not too far from making a position with what we have also had discussions from Tawan, the what he also did in July. So there is a constitutional provision to allay the fears of my colleagues. We are trying to create a situation where we have to live with the consultations and the things that we have always said. This is the white paper. We said that Justice House. But let me read 108. 108. So this can lead our fear. So we give the AG free mind how to deal with this issue. The reason why we are full of air is a chairman. Let's go to court. Those can't take which one want. We pull up. Say because of our section 85 and 87, we own the people of this country with each bit of explanation. You know, so they cannot be in doubt because this has to do with everyone. Because like yes, he's coming now. Now let me after this provision, we will now come properly. It says subject 109 of the Constitution. Subject to the provisions of section 105, we all know, of this Constitution. We are on any matter, whether arising out of this Constitution or otherwise, there is no provision expressed or by necessary implication of this Constitution which deals with a matter that has arising, like this one we have now. Parliament shall mandate, sir, by an act of Parliament, not be inconsistent with any provision of this Constitution, provide for that matter to be dealt with. So, because, Mr. Chairman, I deliberately, people are watching us. Under your administration, they are watching us. What we have spent money, taxpayers' money, coming from Tatoka, date of blessed memory, and Justice Tower of blessed memory, because of two provisions, which we have not taken our time to give proper edification to our constituents, and we don't want to take it out. It has to do with the inconsistency of our election system. There is our date, election date announcing. As I said, proposed, and we agreed, and we also agreed, and we are not going to do anything inconsistent with the Constitution. That we should make a provision where we can sit and do an amendment that is not inconsistent with the Constitution, that can be dealt with as stated in Section 109 of the Constitution. So, in the light of that, I have approached the AG quietly that we cannot just come and remove it. Please say something as a commitment in dealing with it. In line with certain provision, we cannot take action today where we need deferment, but in the future we have to deal with it. That's my submission, sir.
Yes, Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, many thanks to the leader of government business for.
Honorable Abdullah, 1 minute, huh? Yeah. Proceed.
Yeah, thank you to the leader of government business for the submission. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, first, by putting it in this bill, that was part of government's commitments, but we have noted that even when we put it under an amendment to Section 43, which is not an entrenched clause in our Constitution, we note that by including it under Section 43, it will have implications for 87. And so it was a considered view that yes, it be removed. But Mr. Speaker, the government maintains the position that uncertainty when it comes to the date for elections doesn't help this country. The two processes that have informed the bill that you have before you today have both recommended that we have a fixed date for elections in this country. The Justice Edmund Cowan Constitutional Review Committee recommended that there should be a fixed date for elections in this country. And when we got together as part of the tripartite committee, it was also a recommendation that we made. And each time that recommendation has come up, government has accepted that recommendation to say that we should or we must have a fixed date for elections. We don't want to be caught in a situation when at some point we have a power-thirsty president who decides that elections must only take place on their birthday or on their wedding anniversary. We don't want to be caught in that situation. We want predictability. We want this country to have a fixed date to say this is the date on which
In each electoral cycle, we will have elections. It helps for planning, both for citizens as well as for governments or the elections management bodies. And so this is to assure this Honorable House that we will come back with another bill that proposes a fixed date for elections to be debated and hopefully approved by this Honorable House and included in our country's constitution. So yes, a bill will be before this House with a proposal for a fixed date for elections etched in our national constitution. Thank you.
So clause 15 and 16 deleted. Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yes. Yes, we are still on page 17. Clause 17 and then section 155 of the Constitution. There is an insertion of a subsection 4 after 3 in the Constitution. But I think the list is not exhaustive. Hold on. Leader, can you move for 16 and 15 and 16 to be deleted? Hold on.
Mr. Chairman, move clause 16 and 15 and 16 to be deleted because it has to do with election provisions.
Any second there? Any second?
I so second.
All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Proceed, Your Honorable Abdullah. Proceed.
Yeah, just as I said, Mr. Chairman, the insertion of subsection 4 after 3, section 155, you see, the police acting ultra-virus is not only limited to the three. A is saying act in partisan manner further any interest of political party, prejudice a political interest. Yes, but this one, yeah, we can understand. But also, they have acted on personal interest. We have seen or heard of others coming from above. Those are personal interests. So it will interest citizens to really say where a police force acts outside this three, also not take into consideration personal interest.
Yes, Mr. Minister, I think that's fair. That makes sense, not so? Yes, leader.
Mr. Chairman, see, there are things we don't, when we are enacting normally by act of parliament, I've said several times, you don't do the administration of the law. That's why the law, you give room for those who are interpreting the law to do some unlawful. You don't do it like two cents, like it's stranger techniques. For me, we have the military and the police. Everybody needs a policeman. Everybody needs a policeman. And if we want to make sure there is scope to be a discipline in the police force that has to be elections, let us use their own time, their own acts. But coming here to say, I've said we don't make law because we want to be malicious as against institutions individual. Now have a free mind that it's have to do discipline that should be apolitical. Let's just expressly state that one in a particular provision that deals with a particular institution is specific. Mr. Chairman, can I get your
people of Umako, people of
55 is very clear. I have seen.
Is it 55 or 155?
155, sorry. 155. You see, we don't. Some people act in bad faith. Some act in good faith. Everywhere in the world, you have a bad policeman and you have a good one. Everywhere in the world. In America, the stories are so much. The stories are so much. So, talking about parties, for goodness sake, when I was in the opposition, we went for a meeting with the police at the headquarters. I was there, and I saw a policeman with a bag with the former president. I was trying to cover it up in the meeting with Mr. Donokondo Benjamin, Chidansi, and I was there as director of admin. He tried to cover the picture, and I said, "SO2, where you cover that? I'm a president now. You have right to display his badge. The thing that you cannot do is to put the badge of a political party. But you have right to display the badge. We are pushing them to a point that at every point in time, every citizen, you have to see before becoming an SFPP and an APC. So what you are saying, we should not subject them as if they are not professionals. Let us take them by their own terms. They know both forces. They are completely, they should not be partisan, they should be political completely. When we came to the enactment, unfortunately, you are not here, you are in recess, my colleagues on the other side. They brought this idea of making the SSP, the special security, and they removed the police, that they should not participate, and the military. I challenge them that they should not ignore the police force and the military, because already they are acting in that capacity. Why do you want to remove them when it comes to having somebody to be the DG for the SPSS? Because they want to give the power to a specific individual. It is a president who has the responsibility to appoint someone to be the DG for the SPSS. Mr. Chairman, you know, I said they should remove it. Because what you are doing now, you have a special division. You have a special division in the police force that are already acting as state security to the president. They are the laws. Because you want to create a special buffer to make them more professional, that doesn't mean you have to remove the police and the military. I said no, it's unacceptable. And we dealt with that one. We are coming to actually put in constitution to say today I am the government. The police force, they take instructions from the orders of above. It comes at the presidency. You have the function of honor. He gives instructions to the police force or the military. Because you have the moral responsibility to protect the citizens of this country in terms of the sovereignty, in terms of their lives and property. So, you are now saying because you the police are always, when power is on the other side, they move to the other side. Like the military, because they are taking direct instructions from the orders from above. The function of honor. You want to tell me if I give, Mr. Chairman, you want to say making Mr. A. This is the reason why if you are not wise enough as a president, when they call the name, we have CC when we appointed the former CDS as CC. People are saying, CC, is that the minimum? They did not look at the ranking in the military. They didn't look at it. And I went to the president. I said, this issue of people talking about, she says a dignity, this SAPP, what is happening? He said, and he removed a picture, a very good picture by his side. He said, you see that here, SO2. They were already by rank. He didn't give a position to this man. You don't give another position to this man. He get for retire all. And retiring then, it's a huge, it's a killer tax. You are putting your governance on the stage of a brick and a disaster. So, he said, in fact, Sise was my boy when I was in Daro. He was a member of a platoon. He explained all the connection the general retired, the former CDS. So people don't know some of these things. But you try to disguise them in the constitution. You should not be partisan. But the president is not elected by a political party. The president was elected by the political party. So what are you talking about partisan? Gives instructions to the IG or the CDS. That has to do with his office.
So those instructions is coming from a politician or an internal affairs minister trying to curb situations anywhere in this country. Why do you want to put partisan in the constitution? So for me, with my humble submission, I really not looking at. I'm not trying to be fair in mind. Let us look at the act of parliament that has to do with the military and the police force. Let us do the amendment, talking about professionalism instead of scrutinizing them because we are making laws in a more facetious manner, telling them, oh, police, the SO2, wait till election come. That's why they behave. This is something all over the world. We should try to make sure that our forces are very professional in terms of executing their duty. They can take instruction from politicians based on specific instruction. That is why, as a police officer or a military, when you are executing your job, you should know what is good and what is not right. You should be able to distinguish between the good, the bad, and the ugly before you act. So that we try to do this. I think, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, codes of conduct, training for consistent training for our police force. Let me tell you the argument the AG was putting for when you put the IG as a way of disqualifying to disqualification. He said the days of Kitbi, the days of Kokizekaba, we brought in Kitbi. We got in Kitbi to take care of our security and sovereignty. There was a problem with that. That's a challenge. So we have to manage that one during the interim law. So we are a nation. We're thinking about what we have gone through and how do we handle ourselves. These 2 months of suspicion, these 2 months of trying to water down some laws, authority of the state, because today Mr. A is in charge. For us, what is the point? For me, let us maintain 155 and deal with their discipline in different acts of parliament.
Okay, you want us to maintain 155?
Yes. And deal with the issue proposed and deal with the issue proposed.
You want us to
in the
delete
act.
one?
Yes.
To delete 155?
Yes.
And 165?
Yes.
Yes, let me hear. Okay,
let me
you hold a different view.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, leader.
I want to believe that the police should be non-partisan. I want to believe that never again we see in this country where police will put on their trouser and a t-shirt of a political party. The police is not here to protect only members of a single political party. The police is painful because of the
What is your point? That will maintain this?
My point is
that will maintain this.
Why it is necessary in the Constitution in other legislation to be easily amended.
Okay, hold on. You are saying we maintain 165?
Yes.
And 165, 18, 17 and 18.
I am saying that
hold on. You are saying that we maintain plus 17 and 18 in this bill.
Yes.
Mr. Minister, what do you think? Hold on, so that we limit. Yes.
Mr. Chairman has not even allowed me to explain.
I thought probably you.
I wanted to explain.
Okay, explain.
Thank you, sir. Like I have said in other legislations, it will be easily amended. But we want to create a situation where it will be very difficult for this very clause to be amended. That you need 2/3 of members of parliament to amend it. We have all seen how police, there are some professional police officers. Some are professional. And even those who are professional have suffered because of their professionalism. We've seen a situation where a minister of government will just take a phone and call the police officer, give the police officer instruction. You see, so we want them to be totally insulated from our politics. But they don't involve. They should act professionally. They are not here to only protect.
Honorable Mr. Minister, what have you got to say to this?
Mr. Chairman, before you speak, Mr. Chairman, yeah, I saw on CNN, when we lost the 2007 elections, we saw police officers selling this. BBC goes on BBC. Ask more for Fana. I will you have for you to bring this clause, you have to otherwise you to it. And for me, I have the number here, even for simple majority. I just want us to be clear in mind. To be clear in mind of what to do. It doesn't mean that certain police officers they have done the wrong thing, so we cannot come vehemently, vexatiously to try to amend the constitution because certain bad police officers. I am saying, in the interest of the state, looking at that institution, they already have codes of conduct, go to the act. Maybe the minister can make reference to that. Their act, it's really clear. It's clear about discipline, both forces, be you a military, be you a police. But I'm saying, in 2007, Mr. Chairman, I saw it. It was on CNN when they announced the result. BBC. And you came then. We, even 2006, when we came to governance, we did not go after to say, you will not say you. What we need to express and take as a nation, how do we try to train our police officers to be professionals? As I said, even advanced countries in the world, look at them. Today when they talk about demonstrations, they place that they say, oh, no violence, police no violence. Look what happened in the demonstration for Gaza. In the United Kingdom, where they trumpet human rights issues right at the apex of our existence. Why have you seen those videos? Trashing people, throwing. I don't want to go into their jurisdiction. But what I'm saying, what we should do consistently is to train them and make them more professional. Be you SFPP, be you APC, we are using the police officers to our advantage. We have done it.
You see, both leaders, you are making my job very difficult. You are making my job very difficult. All what both of you are explaining, you want this clause maintained. You do not want this clause. All what you are saying just boils down to that. So I just wanted to stick a pin and we move on. When we come to that particular issue. But if you spend 2 hours just debating on an issue you are never going to agree on, that was the point. We stick a pin. Still using my pin.
Mr. Speaker, yes. Rights we stick a pin on it. Rights we stick a pin on it. But from what my colleague has just said, that he was not too happy with the actions of the police in 2007.
Let me say it myself. In good faith and bad faith, we have used the police and the military in different circumstances. In 2007, I just stated it was all over the media, over the international media, be it 2018. What I am saying is beyond state political.
Honorable members, this sitting is stood down for 15 minutes.
Change, they get the masses involved. They look for the news with they around. Log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staff them everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Voices come. Credibility, now we ability. News, give you the views, the way you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. He count on me, he count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, it's the way you want some. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. He call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like a nigga we fly. Liberty TV day before. Climb the mountain just to get the news. Go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices down. Hi yeah. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. He count on me, he count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. He call on me, count on me anyhow. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. For the news with the around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved, staffs them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, hey, voices down. Credibility, now we ability. News, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. He count on me, he count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. Human them, girl begin, let's get the power. Make it call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like a nigga we fly. Liberty TV day before. Climb the mountain just to get the news. Go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices down. Hi yeah. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. He count on me, he count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. Make it all on me, count on me anyhow. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. For the news with the around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved, staffs them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hey, hey, voices come. Hey, hey, credibility, now we ability. News, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get the power. The count on me, the count on we anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. Human them, girl begin, let's get the power. If you call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like an eagle we fly. Liberty TV day before. Climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices down. Hi yeah, give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. The count on me, the count on we anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl begin, let's get the power. The call on me, count on me anyhow. We speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. For the news we dey around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved, staffs them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, hey, voices come. Credibility, now we ability. News, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. The count on me, the count on we anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. Human them, girl begin, let's get the power. If you call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like an eagle we fly. Liberty TV day before. Climb the mountain just to get the news. Go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices down. Hi yeah, give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. The count on me, the count on we anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl begin, let's get the power. The call on me, count on me anyhow. We speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Oh. Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staffs them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi, yeah, hey. Voices come. Hi, yeah, hey. Credibility, now we ability. News, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, them focus, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get the power. You count on me, you count on me anyhow. Give you the news, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, them focus, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get the power. You call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like a nigga we fly. Liberty TV day before. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices down. Hi yeah, give you the news, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, them focus, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. You count on me, you count on me anyhow. Give you the news, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, them focus, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. You call on me, count on me anyhow. You speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. For the news we dey around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staffs them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, hey. Voices come. Hi yeah. Credibility, now we ability. News, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, them focus, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. You count on me, you count on me anyhow. Give you the news, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, them focus, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. Call on me, count on me.
That we keep this money for this act.
Yes, yes. So they are saying that we maintain this clause. You are saying that we delete it and maintain the one in the extant law. So that's the position. So we are still happy. Minister, proceed later. Mr. Minister, you are in Parliament. Stop going across the aisle. Stop going across the aisle.
Apologies.
So, Mr. Minister, what do you say on clause 17 and 18?
Mr. Minister is proposing we end this law and clean as
But your opposition is saying something else.
Mr. Minister, I think the opposition is not the same way with the minister.
Our position here is, since the leader of the business has given illustrative examples wherein both the military and police we have been misused by politicians. No, that is what he's saying. Yes, so we are saying that to protect them and for them to be professional, this must be legislated on in the Constitution.
Like we maintain this.
Yes.
Mr. Minister, so what do you say?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, two proposals we have here, clause 17 and that of clause 18. Both fall under recommendation 78. No, 78, no. Let me see. Fall under recommendation.
Yes, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, apologies, I'm trying to reference specifically recommendation 74 of the tripartite report. It is one of those things that we discussed on the tripartite committee, and whilst in this constitutional provision no penalties are listed, but it is a view. It was a view of the committee that it is important to set standards for our security forces in our country's national constitution. And then, of course, these can be explained in further detail with punishments in statute. We are currently reviewing the Police Act of 1964. It's a bill that will come before this House, and which through that bill we aim to transform our police from being a police force to a police service. So we'll flesh this out a bit more. It is something that the President himself is concerned about. That yes, we should maintain professional standards. It's a very high standards for our police and the military. So for us, we want to keep commitment to the tripartite recommendations, especially as we used to say on the tripartite committee. For some of these, you put them in the constitution, where no one will die. So it will be our recommendation that these proposals be included in both Section 155 and Section 165 of our Constitution.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, the chief.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, before the break, the leader of government in the states stated his position very clearly. And I've just heard the minister say that they are coming with the Police Act. In order for us not to be confused, can we leave this one at the instant law as it is and transfer it to the Police Act? Because mind you, when the Police Act comes eventually, we have to be looking at some of those clauses. And even to place in the Constitution now, when the Police Act comes, we might be tempted to change some other clauses in that Police Act. So I want to support the leader's position by leaving the instant act law as it is and put some of those laws in the Police Act.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Mr. Chairman, based on the presentation of the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, and in line with the tripartite recommendation, it's not taking everything. We also want to respect the decisions of persons who are taking the resolution, who have made recommendations. In that vein, therefore, I want to concede and support
Thank you very much. So, the leader of the opposition The leader of government business has just conceded, so we proceed. Page 18.
Speaker, before we proceed, I'd also like to propose, I want to think ahead. It is my hope that when the police bill
if you are intending to amend the police bill, exactly, no problem. But if there is no amendment, but the police act will go to amendment.
Leader, the leaders.
No, Mr. Minister, I have no problem with that. I just had a problem. It will remain in that way in the police act, and we have it in the constitution. You know, because that way the police will get a rule. Because you know the constitution again will go back. Very easy. Come on, that's here.
Correct.
Yes, leader of government business. Yes, what do you have to say about page 17 plus 17 and 18? Right.
No, you have considered.
Because I want emphasis.
No, you have considered.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. I want to hear the leader.
Is that the way you speak for me? You brought your bill in this house and you should wait for me. You know we are having the same agenda.
You're acting leader of government.
What did you do? Mr. Chairman, I said I want us as politicians to look at certain things that we do in the eyes of the public. I told the agent when he wanted to just amend to move on with 87, I said no. We have agreed in his own document in July 2025, and that people asked for the same date to be given for fixed election to avoid the inconsistency. Chairman, I'm protected.
Yes, you're protected.
To see the face, to change the face of what we do. So I accepted that we should not just throw the fixed election date by what we discussed. I said, okay, but we have to explain to the public.
Yes.
We have the tripartite recommendations. In fact, I reprimanded my colleague on the other side of severe proclamations that way. And today, he is also telling me that no, this thing, we have used the police, both sides, in good faith and in bad faith. That they also to warn him. Through confession. That is how we should be doing. Let the public looking at us. So I'm considering based on tripartite. The tripartite is a midway for us where we can meet. So Mr. Eji, I think I will tell you in this one again. I think I will put down my position. I will support the position of the the AG and also supported by the leader of the opposition, and we maintain the proposed clause.
Okay, thank you very much, William. Then, honourable members, I actually want us to stay put at this stage. But if you assure me that we won't be long, then we can just go through these ones. I don't think there are any. Are there contention there?
Speaker, I will not assure you.
Mr. Chairman,
I cannot assure you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for my brother. Considering the fact that when we started this process, nobody thought that 65 would be contentious. So for the purposes of what we have ahead, it is better that you listen to the leader of government business and then you allow us to go and do some small adjustments. At this stage, allow us to go and
at this stage, I will urge the leader of government business to move an application for this particular process to be moved on to Monday.
Mr. Speaker, first, I have to talk with my colleague on the other side.
Yes, talk with
there are some administrative arrangements that you have not won.
Yeah, of course.
So you want to upgrade your table?
Yes, honourable members, be rest assured.
No, Mr. Speaker, hold on. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, hold on. Mr. Chairman, don't hold on. No, Mr. Chairman, hold on.
I need to say this.
No, not today. No, not today. Wait till me. No, that one, I'm no, not today. I tell her. I'm going to want to everything. I still say that. Maria big.
So, honourable members, by law, Friday will be the beginning of a new session. Friday. But I'm urging the leader of government business to move a motion for this process to be moved to Monday as if we are continuing in this session, so that we don't have to start everything all over again. So he can make that application, he can move that motion to be carried by the House. Then we will just continue on Friday from where we stopped. On Monday. Because on Friday we are starting a new session. But honourable members, be reminded that constitutional matters are serious matters. Constitutional matters are serious matters. I expect full attendance on Monday. And on Monday, I will be here not later than 10 a.m. in the morning. I urge every member of parliament to be present, especially you who are representing political parties. Don't think your leaders come here for fun. They come here to listen to you, to observe your participation. They are here for strategic reasons. They want to know how punctual you are, how regular you are in parliament, and the kind of contributions you are making. So I urge you to be here 10 a.m. prompt, 10 a.m. prompt on Monday.
Mr. Speaker.
On Monday, of course, the leader of government business.
Mr. Speaker.
1 minute. The leader of government business very soon will be making an application. But don't forget, we have state opening of parliament on Friday. State opening of parliament. Immediately after the adjournment, we have a 5 minutes meeting in committee room 1. Just for 5 minutes. because we want to take you through the process so that you know exactly what the expectations will be on Friday when we come for state opening. Immediately after the sitting, please let's meet in committee room 1 for some serious conversation as members of parliament. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, we asked strangers before.
Instead
of going to committee room 1, we just ask strangers
I think it's good that we stay there.
No, we'll go to committee.
Let's go to committee room 1.
Yes. So that nobody will complain that parliament day upstairs.
Okay.
We'll go to committee.
Yes, so you wanted to say something?
Yes. I was going to plead with you and the leader of government business that instead of Monday we make it Tuesday because it's extortion. On Friday, most of us go to our costume. Most of us go to our costume.
I have to be done. It's not for anyone that we are adjourning to Monday.
Okay.
It's for me.
Okay.
I'm leaving the jurisdiction on Monday.
Okay.
So I will come here in the morning to make sure we conclude.
This is the speaker.
Yes, it's for me, not for anyone. Because I'm leaving the jurisdiction on that same Monday at night. So please, honourable members, you have to bear with me on that. Then, honourable members, I am fight. Okay, when we go to committee room 1, we have certain conversations to do. So yes, leader of government business.
Mr. Chairman, I cannot move a motion when your list is covered.
Yes, resume the house. The house resumes. Yes, Mr. Minister, you may leave. Thank you very much for coming today. Mr. Minister, thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first, thank you for I made a request. Me and my colleague on the other side, we are honored by lobbying us in a very good interest of our survival. Thank you for your patience and listening to us. That's what I have to do to every member of the parliament. Mr. Speaker, first I stand on SO51. I stand on SO51 for the House. Mr. Chairman, you with me, sir. Mr. Speaker, you with me. Mr. Speaker, I stand on SO51 for this House to take resolutions for us to sit on Monday the date, Monday the 10th of August 2026. Mr. Speaker, I so move that this House to take a resolution to sit on Monday, the 10th of August 2026. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Motion moved by the leader of government business for the House to sit on Monday has been carried.
Are you not suspending any standing order?
Mr. Speaker, I am not coming. I have laid my foundation. I want to build the skyscraper.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, as we are doing an amendment to the Constitution, I will start my application from the Constitution itself. It's a very serious business, matter of dealing with the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I stand on the Constitution provision 94 to regulate ourselves, to make this application. Section 94 of the Constitution, Act number 6 of 1991. Mr. Speaker, I also stand on SO 82 to suspend a particular provision in the standing orders SO 59, the whole of SO 59, to allow us to finish the business of constitutionality. Mr. Speaker, I so move that my amendment be accepted by my proposal be accepted by this House for the suspension of SO 59 using all the other provisions. In fact, you still don't know. Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Any seconder?
Yeah, it's a second.
All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Motion moved by the leader of government business for the House to continue proceedings on the Constitution of Sierra Leone Amendment Act 2025 on the 4th session of Parliament has been carried.
Honorable members, this particular session is moved to Monday, the 10th of August 2026 at 10 a.m. prompt. But this sitting is adjourned to Friday. This session is moved to Monday. This session is moved to Monday. The sitting is adjourned to Friday at 10 a.m. prompt.
Yes, sir.